Possibly back over 250 is another trade. It might not want to wait, although a perfect 5 minute. So I'll take a starter there at 45. I'm going to try to be in this for the break over 62. So my order's at 62 to add, because it seems like it's just curling up, like it doesn't want to wait, right? Over for the breakthrough 60. There's 52 on the ask, 53, 54. Adding at 55. Looking for that breakthrough 60. So we've got 57 right now. New orders at 62. It's got to hold the $0.50, I would say. So I sold that at 54. Double top at 62. So I'll leave my order at 62 for the next trade. This current 5 minute candle has 2 minutes left on it. So let's see, let me check something here. So I just want to see what they have for a shelf registration, because this, could be a perfect time for them to do a offering potentially. So let's see, shelf registration. This is from 2019, but these are good for 3 years. Interesting. So something to be a little mindful there. Probably not something I want to hold for hours and hours. I would certainly hope that they wouldn't do a secondary offering like in a half an hour after the report of their earnings, but you never know. So the S3 is from 2019. It's about a year old, but those stay good for, I think, 3 years. So the high is 62. This has now 7 million shares of volume. It's very thickly traded. Low of the last pullback was 24. So 24 would be a spot we would definitely need to see hold. If it pulls back and double bottoms there to 26, that could be a dip entry. So maybe what I'll do is I'll have an order ready at like 28 or 30 and just see whether or not we get a dip entry on it. High this last candle was 47. I want to see if it pulls back a little bit more down to 35. That 5 minute candle closed. So first 5 minute candle to make a new high will be a setup that we can watch. So I'm going to take a starter here at 41 since it feels like it's kind of basing. First 1 minute candle to make a new high is there at 47. $45 by 46, I'm in at 41. I'm going to set my stop at break even. Let's see if it gets back over 250. 247 on the ask, 248, 249, 100,000 share seller at 50. So I'm going to sell half at 47 just to be safe. And then, let's see, I sold the rest at 39. Let it pull back a little bit more. 100,000 share seller, a little bit of an issue there, I think. I tried to buy that dip, but I didn't get filled. I tried to get in at 29 to bounce off the VWAP, but no fill. Let it sell off a little bit more. So 9 million shares of volume. AIHS is now the leading gapper, up 87%. So this went from nothing to leading gapper in 20 minutes, basically. So the low is 27 of that last pullback, that last dip. High of day 62, high of the last 5-minute candle 60, high of the current one is 50. So first 5-minute candle to make a new high is still a setup that I'm going to be watching. Good job for those who got a little bit of pre-market action so far. This is a little bit of a bear flag here at 27. It's kind of consolidating right here, but 27, 28 is the VWAP, so it'll be interesting to see what it does in this area. All right, so let me just look at a couple of the other stocks that I have on my watch list. I'm taking a starter here at 26 on AIHS. I'm buying the dip off the VWAP. And over 40 would be an add for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, which is going to be over 50. Just add it at 40. So I'm holding, and I'm looking to add again over 250 for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. So nice curl off the low there from 27 to 40. Watching over 240. I want to add because I want to be holding full size for the break at 250 and then a retest of 262, the highs. I think as we get closer to the open, we should see this squeeze a little bit up more towards those pre-market highs. So hands on the buy button at 52. I want to catch that first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Stop is at break even. Of course, live stops don't work pre-market. Hey girl, pull it together! This 5-minute candle still has a couple minutes left, but it's currently an inside candle. Really needs to break over 245, 250. So I'm just going to hold it right now for a second. Let's see what it does. Back to the VWAP. BGI on the gap scan, but that one's pulling back. DSS also pulling back a little bit. So those ones are not looking as good right now. CLSK, let me pull that one up. Nice on CLSK, that's a possibility. Nice pop there from 320 to 420, pulling back down towards the VWAP. So I'm holding AIHS while it's consolidating here. CLSK breaking the VWAP here. I'm going to take a starter on CLSK at 97. This one is a bounce off VWAP. So what I'm looking for is a pop back up to 410, 420. We've got 399 on the ask. There's 4. There we go. So there's 403. I'm going to sell that. It didn't hold 4. Got above 4 and then broke back below it. Small profit. If it breaks a critical support level like that, it's got to hold above it. A critical resistance. AIHS, I'm still holding. So we have sort of a flat bottom here at 25 and another strong pop off that level. On CLSK, I was in at 97 and then adding for the break of 4 and then sold at 402 and 398. So a small profit. Bounce off VWAP should give sort of an immediate pop the way we've seen on AIHS, and if it doesn't, then that's my indicator just to get right back out. So high this last candle is 44, so on AIHS, which I'm still holding, my order is at 52 to add, unless I do a dip trade down here, which I might off of 25. And I agree that yesterday AIHS, although I did okay on it, didn't hold up super well, but we've got a different headline out this morning. We've got about 10 minutes to the bell, and as a reminder, you guys have to do your pre-trading checklist each day. Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Do you have a couple stocks on watch that you like? If you do, what's the condition of the overall market? And remember, don't blindly follow me or anyone else. You've got to understand the setup. So AIHS right now is forming a 5-minute setup. The breakout, the apex point, is the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. That's going to be over 44. 40's an early entry. Watching and adding right there, and now looking for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and the break back over 250. Orders at 252. I want to keep adding on this as it's squeezing higher. So I can take a little profit into the move, adjust my stop, add for the next leg up, so on and so forth. High this candle is 45. New order goes, well, I'll just leave the order at 50 for right now. So first 5-minute candle to make a new high. Typically I like to see better resolution than what we're seeing right now, but it might just take it a second. So micro pullback after a breakout on the 5. 251, and then 255, 260, then 265, 270. Those are the spots I'd be watching. So the high there was 45. So here's 44. So I just sold it at 40 rather than hold through this chop that's happening right now. The downside risk is that it comes back to 25. So I'm going to put my order at 31. So if it bounces off 25, maybe I can get back in at like 27 or 28 or something like that on a bounce off this flat bottom. But this stock has now given us a couple false breakouts on the 1 minute, and this is going to be a false breakout on the 5 minute. So with 12 million shares of volume, we're starting to get into a little tug of war. Hang on one second. Enough. Okay. So I'm all closed out of everything right now, no positions. $25 is this flat bottom support level that's tested twice very well, and a couple other times, you know, not super perfectly, but so this one is definitely one to watch. DSS pulled back a little bit too much, but maybe if it curls back up above VWAP, it was a big mover, up 44% from 7 all the way to 12. So that's really nice. But then it pulled back down here to 937. BGI on the gap scan, $1.35 coming down. BGFV, BGFV is in Victor. This one is also coming back down a little bit, 326. So that one's not perfect. DLPN, no. CTech. AIHS just came down to that 24 spot. I've got a starter on AIHS again at 29. It seems to be holding the support level here. We have about 4 minutes to the bell. I'm not sure that it gets back above 45 before the bell, but I kind of want to be holding it for the open because I'm sort of thinking this one might have the potential to give a squeeze into a halt at the open. I mean, I'm not sure, but that's kind of what I'm wondering. The gap fill is 270 on the daily. So, you know, I'd like to be holding this into a halt for 20-30 cents. That would be really nice. We still have 4 minutes to the bell. So there's 35, 36. Oh man, so I just put my order out to sell half at 35 and I accidentally sold the whole thing. I used the wrong button. So that was only 5 cents of profit. All right, well, that's annoying. I'll either get back in on another dip off 25 or I'll add at 41, which is where I would have added anyways. It's just going to throw off my cost basis because now I'm back out of it. So 13 million shares of volume, 84% gap right now, 84% gainer on the day. And what I'm thinking out of the gates, I mean, we have a couple things. We do have an active S3 shelf registration. And so, you know, I mean, if we see a lot of selling, we could speculate that there could be a direct offering and priced at the market, you know, and we could see a drop. I mean, if once that headline hits. But right now it's up 85%. It looks strong. I'm not expecting to see news of a secondary offering dropping the first 30 minutes of trading directly after their headline of fiscal results. So I think it should be okay for a trade out of the gates. But it may be that it dips down. There may be some bag holders from yesterday, so it may dip down for a second, and if it dips, I'm going to want to buy that dip and then ride that momentum for the rip through 250. What I'll be looking at very closely at the open are the halt levels. So is a halt level 251, for instance? Is it only 10% away? Because if it's only 10% away and it rips up and gets halted, then it's almost definitely going to gap higher, and then I would think we have a shot at seeing a move to $3. If the halt level is like 275 or 280, probably not going to squeeze into a halt. Watching down here. So a little bit of a dip there. I didn't have my hand on the keyboard. So another, last time it went to 24, this time it's 23. So with 90 seconds to the bell, it is kind of pulling back a little bit here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doji candles in a row. A little choppy. Let's see if it breaks the low of 23. There's 26 on the bid. High of the last 5-minute candle, or sorry, high of the current one is 38. So when the bell rings, the break of 38 would be the first 5-minute candle to make a new high in this setup. About 30 seconds to the bell here on this one. So I'm going to put up my disclaimer for those on YouTube and Facebook. And again, those of you guys who enjoy watching me trade, come over and use the July 40 coupon code to join the Warrior Starter or the Warrior Pro classes and get in the chat room, and then you can keep watching me trade after the bell rings. All right, I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow. Everyone else will keep trading here as soon as the bell rings. So I'm going to put my order at 51. Looking for a dip. Starter long at 30. Selling at 29. Very clearly a hidden seller at 30. Now I'll look to do a dip trade on this. I'll let it pull back down, bounce off 2. And then maybe a red to green move back over 30. Watching a break of 15. Starter at 18. Over 25 would be an add for the red to green. Adding at 24. Looking now for the red to green move and the squeeze through 30. So 27, 28. No, seems choppy. Still holding for a second. Sold at 15, small loss on that trade. So, this would make me wonder whether or not they're going to do a direct offering to see this kind of choppiness. High on CLSK is 27. High on CLSK there is 17. Daily chart has room up to 457. I'll watch that on a pullback, and I'm going to keep watching AIHS. AIHS back over 20. I'm long AIHS there at 19. I want to try to get that break through 25 and then add over 30 for the red to green move. Watching to adding there at 30 on AIHS. Nice, and taking profit at 32. That was 30,000 shares on that trade. Still holding. I'm going to give it a second to pop back up. The high there was 35. 35 would be my next trade. Still holding a small position on AIHS. The low was 07 previously. I'm going to look to do a dip trade on AIHS. Dip trade long down there at 10. So buying a double bottom off of 7. And sold at 13. About $200 on that. Nothing super exciting. New order is at 10. I'm going to watch for another attempt at, if it holds 07. I could do another dip trade, but obviously AIHS right now is feeling weak. So these are just kind of scraping little profits off the bottom. One-minute chart's not that great. Long there, starter. Adding at 2. Looking for the pop back up to 204. Sold at 201. Small loss. Well, this is kind of discouraging that the leading gapper is failing again today. What I really would like to see is continuation. You know, I'd like to see something that is at the highs on a gapper and continues higher. That's what I really need in order to have a really, solid green day. AYRO is still a daily setup, really though more over $8 than 7. So I think this is a good time to step back for a moment, take a breath, wait for something to pop up that looks good. Yep, leading gapper, which I made money on pre-market, and on this red to green move has failed. So not great. Right now, I'd be waiting for a red to green move or something to pop up, like this, that has news, that's got volume, high relative volume at the very least. Even though this total volume is light, the relative volume is probably going to be okay with 3.7 million shares. And, try to see if something gives us an opportunity. This one yesterday went from 250 to a high of 375. They've got their second quarter financial results on August 6th. Okay, so coming. The high there was 340. Feels thickly traded. Doesn't feel like a... that's... Where did I get this stock from? CLNE. It's hitting the high, but that wasn't the one on the scanner. Interesting. Craig, CREG, light volume. So yeah, in any case, waiting for something that looks clean. Oh my gosh, I've got a couple stocks in the scans here. CTech, I don't see... Oh, there is news on it. Okay, so... Halt levels at 54. It's moving up. Wow. Halt level moved up to 76. I don't, when this kind of happens, it's always tricky because you're like, what's going on? 68 is the high. So 68 would be a buy spot. I'm taking a starter here at 58. So I'm long at 58, and I want to just ride that momentum, maybe into a halt. 76 is the halt level, so over the high here of 70 could be an add. This is on CTech. So watching the break of 70. Still holding right now on the 1 minute pullback. Over 65 is an add. Watching, adding right there, 59.60. Looking for the break over 58, 59, and then 65 and 70. I'm trying to jump in on this sort of 1 minute micro pullback. I want to get the break of 60, 65, and then through the high of 68, 70. So I'm going to stop out at 50, cut the loss, $1,500 loss, actually $1,900 loss. And that was 10,000 shares, worth a try, but no, didn't work. So the high is 70. I jumped in here on this kind of micro pullback right there, thinking that was gonna continue, but all right, so that's one loss. So I got to draw the line in the sand somewhere. Where am I going to say, all right, enough's enough? DSS, I see it, but it is below the VWAP, so I'm not totally sure on it. Yeah, that pullback is overdone on C-Tech. Not sure what this is. Chinese company. Mark, let's keep the chat on topic. Trade ideas, please. Yeah, I see that. So the high from that day was 685. High here is 558. Total volume on the day, 320 to 8,000 shares, a little on the lighter volume side. I'd probably want to see a dip on it. So you're seeing a bunch of stocks kind of pop up here, but a lot of them, not a lot of volume, not a lot of news, I'm not sure. BGI moving up, but yeah, it's kind of grinding. Not a big mover right now. MOGU was halted, went from 480 to 558. So I'll see what it does on resumption. The float is a little higher, but you know, it is a former runner. So let's see what it does. Resumption in about 10 seconds. It has short sale restriction and is not easy to borrow. High was 58. Orders at 6. No resumption yet. So it looks like a 10-minute long halt. Yeah, so, oh, there's resumption. 20,000 share seller at 50. So kind of a delayed resumption. Sometimes happens with nicey stocks. I'll take a starter there at 48. Sold, small win. I'll look for a dip for the next trade. High of that candle was 68, kind of ran into a little resistance up there. The low of this pullback was 23. Only a $300 trade, $300 winner. You know, if it had ripped right to 75.85, I probably would have added for the break of 6, but it kind of right away ran into a little bit of resistance. So down here, the problem is now you have a false breakout on the 1 minute. So that's not a very nice pattern. So now it's going to need a whole period of time for the 5 minute to turn around and look better, since the 1 minute doesn't look good. The halt level going down there is at 90. Could have done a dip off that level because that's a little bit of an overdone sell-off, but I was too slow to grab a position there at like 95 or 99. So you could have done a dip there, but I missed that one. Nice pickle. Good job. That's 13 cents. So giving back pretty much that whole move. ALT is a little higher priced. This one could end up being a little trickier. Yeah, past couple days have been a little trickier. Yep. ALT, wild ride. Yesterday's high was $20.65. What's the high? 87. Yesterday's high is $20.65, so we're starting to get pretty close. I don't think my tape shows 3 decimals, but some might. I don't know. Sometimes you'll get fills that are partial, or just sort of you get filled between. It becomes an average, so it could be that. So the high is 1994. $13,000 share buyer at 53 on ALT. So let's see if 53 holds, 1953. Nice. So that buyer you could have interpreted that as, you know what? There's a big buyer there. I'm going to jump in that level with a stop at 50. So now let's see what it does around this $20 spot. Is it going to hold over it? So it's straddling that whole dollar right now. Dip down to 88. You know, it broke the whole dollar, but it needs to hold above it in order for me to use 20 as my stop to be long for a move up to $20.50 or something like that. High is 2028, and you're starting to get a little bit of a doji, red doji at the top. Could be a candle of indecision, possible reversal coming, possible short back down towards 1836, which would be the VWAP. That could certainly be a dip entry if it did a quick flush. But of course it might keep going. High that last 1 minute is 205, high of day is 228. So a break of 228, certainly be bullish. There's 237. High is 241. Now let's see if it holds, 20. Let's see if it holds $20. So let it come back down, prove it can hold this level of support, and then 20 becomes the new stop. So now we're coming up to yesterday's high at 65. This has a really interesting pattern of high volume green candles, light volume red candles. It's getting more and more extended, but the dips keep getting bought up. High is 59. So is it going to hold 20? This candle still has 30 seconds left on it. It's showing that same pattern of a light volume red candle. This hasn't had two green candles in a row until what looks like maybe right now. This is funny. So this is the first time we've had two green candles in a row since back here. The high is now 2085. So 2085 is the high. Is it going to hold? So again, looking at the level 2, are there big bids anywhere? Where can I, possibly get an entry? So here's coming up to 21. Nice. So now we're picking up steam a little bit. High is 2120, 2125. So is it going to hold 21? Because this is one on the daily chart that has a lot of room. The high is 2138. The biggest challenge is finding a low risk entry. Wow. High is 2168. So on the daily chart we have, let's see, no resistance right now until $26, and then from 26 we have room up to 33. So high volume there, a red candle. The high was 2168. So if it broke 2168, this at the moment looks like it might be the top. It's looking like a doji candle at the high. So if it rips through the high, then that's where I would say, well, it's going to squeeze out short sellers over that level. So that is a spot to keep an eye on, 2168. You've got 2, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row. Back over 2150. See what this does here. So now we have 2 red candles in a row, but we're finally getting a little bit of a pullback. What's it going to do at 21? I'm taking a starter right here because it looks like it's holding support at $21. There we go. Selling half, 65. New order goes at $22. I can add over 68. Just added right there for the breakthrough 68. Now I'm being a little bit more aggressive. The high a day is 93. Over 93 is an add. Added right there, 95. Looking for the break over $22. And then a squeeze up to $22.50. Now we're starting to see momentum pick up on this, right? Starting to open up a little bit. So watch right here. There we go. New order goes at $22.25. Watching for my next trade up in this area. Pulling back a little bit. High is $22.24. $22.24 is the next possible trade. I'm still holding small size. Starter, long, back in here, 92. Trying to buy to get the hop back over 20, up through 24. There we go. Taking a little profit at 22.24. Back to my core position size. High a day there is 36. 36, adding at 36 for the break over 22.50. Selling half at 62. High a day is 67. New order at 75. Adding at 75 for the break of 23. Now, again, this is where we're starting to see some really nice action. Watching this for the break of $23, then up to 24, no resistance until 26. Watch over 75, adding there 75. I want to get that pop up over 23. Sold for right now at 36, stopped out. New order, high a day is 22.92. I'm going to watch a dip for a new entry. It's pulling back a little bit. Long at 22.09. Dip trade. Sold at 22.03. Those are our daily levels. Starter long at 79. Trying to buy this dip here for the pop back up over 22. Sold at 22.04. Low of that candle 61. High of this last candle is 22.32. That candle made a new low there, down to 52. Watching the level 2 just to try to get little trades on this. Trying to see where is it going to hold support. Back in at 31. Bought the dip down there. Trying to catch the pop back up to 60, 65. Still holding right now. New order to buy off of 21. Letting it flush. Problem with with dip trades on this is that the spread can be bigger. So if I use shift 1, I could be getting filled a lot higher than I would like to. I sold. So we're selling off a little bit, but the VWAP is, well, down at $20, so we still have a ways to VWAP. Still bullish. Yeah, because shift 1 is an offset, so it's just 10 cents above the current price. Okay. All right, so high this last 1 minute candle is 50 on ALT. First 1 minute candle to make a new high is a possibility for a quick trade. Let it pull back again, back down towards 21. See if it holds support there. Starter, long, 21.13. Looking for the first 1 minute candle to make a new high. Adding there at 29 or 32 and want to catch this curl back up to 21.50. So I want to see it over 21.45, 21.50. There's 45, there's 50, 55. So again, a little, let's see what it does. 37 by 43 here. I'd like to see it get up a little bit higher than that. Yeah, so that's a small winner. I wasn't able to get a good exit up at the 50 spot. I sold the rest of it there. I'm going to watch for another dip down here off 22. Oh, sorry, 21. Watching. This is a bear flag on a 1 minute. It sold off. It popped up for 2 candles. Now it's consolidating. But if it holds 21 support, and it's not, so that's fine. It's not surprising because that's what a bear flag does. Is it 2 candles up and then a candle down. But sometimes you hold support there, which would be right at 21. The volume weighted average price is at $21. Sorry, $20. I have current 5-minute candles 21.41. So nice increasing volume, sort of topping out there at a high of just under 23. Pulling back here, lighter volume on the pullback, although these are some bigger red candles. Hasn't tapped the VWAP, but it is right at the 20 moving average. High of this candle, last 1 minute is 21.19. Let's see maybe the new low down here of 62, whether or not it's going to hold the volume weighted or hold the $0.50. Right, it's down here in the 60s, 67, 66, 61. Starter there for me at 70. So it seems like it's holding that level. So now I want to see if it'll pop up over 21. There's 96, 98. Is it going to break 21? I want to give it a chance to get back over 21. This current 5-minute candle still has 2 minutes left on it. But first 1 minute candle to make a new high there, that's nice. So took some profit off in the teens. Stop is going to be, well, I would just say 21, 21.09 for the stop there. High of that candle is 21.34. The 5-minute candle high is 21.41, but still 90 seconds left on it. So I'm kind of looking for that first 5-minute candle to make a new high, but I don't know that I would expect an immediate move back to the highs just because of the fact that this 5-minute candle was fairly large on the red side because of that drop there. So the new high of this 5-minute candle is 21.49. So now that it's broken back over 21, the question is, will it hold 21 as support? So I'm going to cancel my stop and say my new stop would be under $21 and watch to see if it holds 21 on a pullback. Let it retest that whole dollar. So I'm taking, adding right here at 11 because it looks like it's holding that whole dollar. We still have 30 seconds left on this candle. The high is 21.50, so my new order is going to go at 21.50. Right now I want to hold for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. We've got 20 seconds left on this candle. $10 left on this current candle, and this is now a 1 minute micro pullback underneath 49. 2 seconds left. That candle's now closed. I'm going to add right here for the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. Nice. I want to see it get and hold over 250. I want to see that squeeze up towards 265, 270. Over 260. So what was the high here? 263. So I'd want to see 263 break. Got 46, 47 on the ask. So a little bit of a flush back down there, back to break even. See if it pops back up. If it holds 21, I could do a dip off of the whole dollar. Watching 21, long, adding right there. Dip trade. Now looking for this to pop back up to 21, 25 or so. So there's 17. There's 2109. Give it a chance to pop back up. I could do another dip down here. The low of this last pullback was 62, so 62 could be a dip spot. Watching 62. Adding right there. So I just added, and I'm looking for this to pop back up on a bounce off the VWAP. The VWAP is now $20.20. So this is kind of a bounce off VWAP setup. There's 55 on the bid, 63 on the ask. A perfect bounce off the VWAP, would have been 20, but didn't do a perfect bounce. $14 million shares of volume, and yet I am having a harder time with this one. The spreads are so kind of disappointing. The first 5 minute candle make a new high, sort of a dramatic false breakout. And the problem that I'm having on this is having a little bit of a hard time selling my positions without hitting the bid. My sells on the ask, not filling very well. So, if I hit the bid on a stock like this with a 5-cent spread, 5 cents not bad, but at times the spread's bigger than that, 8 cents, 10 cents. I don't really like to do that. I'd really prefer to sell on the ask. And on this one, multiple times tried to sell on the ask up here, no fills, and then flush back down towards break even. Or maybe I got some fills, but not the whole thing. Again, happened down here, bought this dip, tried to sell on the ask, coming back up, hard time getting filled. So, and it's not with huge position sizes either. So that's a little discouraging because it makes it so I have a hard time trusting trading the stock, because every time I get in, I know I might have to struggle to get back out. It's easy to get in on the ask. It's easy to get out on the bid, but if you buy at the ask and always sell at the bid, you're losing money between the spread. So ALT, a little bit of a higher price stock, a little choppier. The low was 20.37 of that last pullback. 5 minute candle did a false breakout. So now where would I consider another trade on him? I'm not really sure. maybe a bounce off the true VWAP of 2020. So ALT coming down a little bit more here. VWAP is at $20.24. I have a starter at 39. Trying to take a bounce off the VWAP. It's not perfect to the penny, but it's close. The low is 28. So I'll put my stop at maybe 15, and I'd be willing to add if it comes back down to 25. First 5-minute candle to make a new high will be back over 21. This would not be probably a instant resolution type of trade just because of the fact that it failed on the last 5-minute breakout. But I like it for the dip off the VWAP and a slow curl back up towards the highs. So I have my order ready to add. I'm going to put it at 29. Double bottom there. I'm going to stop out and I'll look to do another dip trade. Stopped at 26. I'm just concerned that it's bear flagging and that it's going to actually break the VWAP. Initially I was thinking I would add, but after it came back and double bottomed and then attempted the third time, figure better just cut that. So if I was still holding it right now, if I had added at 15, my new stop would be 20. So possible bounce off of 20, but the problem is now we're breaking below the VWAP. So that's moving in the wrong direction. Just fading a bit lower now. I think it was worth a stab, and I could have taken profit on that, but I didn't. I held it to see if it would curl up a little bit more. All right, so that's it for me. I'm gonna shut it down. Be back at it tomorrow.